How was everybody's weekend? Welcome to the Playroom and Pret Mesh and Ram Bot and MJ Hot and Kostovalsky and Pret Mesh and Mert and Sergio and David. Lots of lots of people on right now. Hola to you. All right, hopefully I'm on YouTube right now. And if I'm not, let me know. Okay, here we go. I was on YouTube. I didn't really even know it. Hi to Eric and Hurt Locker and Joe and Ray and Mr. Piratebrain. You want more sex? Mr. Piratebrain, do you want more sex? Tasha and James, good morning to all. Um, Everybody had a good time? Party at the beach? Oh, that sounds fun. Can you pay for Patreon through iTunes? No, Patreon is a website in itself. Just go to patreon.com/Karen Lee. I'll put the link right here. I'm going to pin it to my Instagram right here. I think it's actually on, I think it's on my link. If you go to my bio, you'll see it there. It's just pretty easy. It's patreon.com, and then you go to my name, Karen Lee. That's it. Again, with the MJ Hot, no need for the how old are you questions again. I have an awesome voice. Ooh, thank you, Brian. Okay, so let's see. The volume is low. Okay, let me see if I can turn up the volume. How's that? Is it better now? Can everybody hear me? Mohammed, hello, dear. It's really so hard when your partner is cold. Okay, let's get on to the topic then, Matt, and all the people on Instagram. For those just joining us, the topic today was brought to you by someone who commented on my last video, and this is what they said. Let me see if I can find it now. Of course I can. Hold on. Okay, so basically, I'm going to rephrase the question. Let's see if I can find it. Okay. I have a question. This is what James asked. I have a question for you. Why do women fall out of sex? My wife and I are not having sex anymore, and I wish we could have more sex. And so it's a complicated question, obviously. For me to be able to answer it in one sentence would be difficult. Someone named John said it's an evolutionary for the most part. Then there are life issues, money, stress, turning 40, and the associated weight gain. So let's talk about it. I thought it would be a good idea to bring this up on both YouTube and live and see what everybody had to say about it, because it's common. I get this question a lot: what to do, because after a while, sex is, I'm not going to say it's routine, because it's certainly not anything routine, but it becomes an issue that gets put on the back burner, and then the longer that it goes without being addressed, the harder it is to just get back into it again. So when I say harder, I don't mean like physically hard. I mean it gets hard to discuss it once it's pushed onto the side. So Sylvia, we'll handle all the questions after this, okay? So hold on to that thought. If you want to super chat me at the bottom, go to super chat and I'll get to your question first. But David is saying something here about getting the spark back. And my wife invite people into our bed. So there's a lot of things that you can do. One of the things the most important thing I think anybody in any relationship should do is communicate. First of all, I mean, there may not be the good communication that you think there is. So if you haven't really discussed it together about what's going on, then obviously there's going to be a miscommunication, a misfiring. So the first thing I would do if I was in this situation where I wanted more sex than my partner or vice versa, I would say, let's talk about what's going on here. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex, baby. Okay, seriously. I had a little too much caffeine this morning. No, I'm just trying to say that if you don't talk about it, then it becomes this like white elephant in the room, and you want to bring it up, but you can't. And then the longer it goes on, I know one of my friends who hasn't had sex for 6 years with her husband. And it just gets to something. It gets to the point where no one even wants to talk about it. So, is it still too low? Can you guys hear me? Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me on YouTube. I think is the problem, right? Are you able to hear me on YouTube, Mr. Pirate Brain? Can you hear me? Can you turn it up more? I think it's all the way up. I don't know what's going on. It might be the stream that I'm using here. Hi there, Shiraz. Okay, so maybe I should talk louder. Everything's fine now? Okay. Maybe, did you get a new microphone? No, I didn't get Okay, so where were we? Mr. Pirate Brain, you got divorced because of the lack of sex. Mr. Pirate Brain, did you ask or talk about this first? Is this something that you guys went to counseling? There is counselors or sexologists, and almost every psychologist deals with this. Any marriage or family counselor can deal with this issue. Sometimes it's not workable, and sometimes you got to think about, well, what can I do now? What if there's a physical issue? What if there's some sort of like a chemical imbalance? Sometimes when people are going through different things, if they're on medication for any kind of depression or whatever, sometimes the side effects are that you don't want to have sex, or that your wife doesn't want to have sex, or your partner doesn't want to have sex. So I think that if you've talked about all that and you've gone through the doctors and you've gone through therapists and everything, and you still haven't been able to resolve it, then why not open up the relationship to other people? I mean, if that's an option, then try talking about that. Well, maybe if we bring somebody else in, or what if, you go out and do your thing and I do my thing, maybe that could help. Bonker, to have sex, you must start by having a girlfriend. Well, obviously, yeah. I mean, that's true, bonker. Let's see. All right. James, you still can't hear me. God bless it. The volume is still low. All right. Let me think of what to do. Hold on, guys. I'm just going to try to fix the volume here because it could be something in my audio video capture thing here. Let's see if I could turn up the music. Let's see. Yeah, I could see where the mic is kind of lit. No, my mic's all the way up. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Let's see. I don't know. I'm trying here, guys. You know what I was trying to do? I was trying to go on Twitch, and I think that screwed everything up. The other day I was trying to go on Twitch. So let me see about settings here, if I can get the settings going on audio. Okay, I'm going to go to audio settings. Let's see. Desktop audio device. I don't know. Well, I'll have to look into it at a later date, because I don't know why it's not working. It's working for some and not others. All right, I'll just speak up. I'll just shout. Okay, where was I? I'm very distracted right now. All right, so thank you, Vabhav. My wife is going through medical problems. She said her age is the problem. James, there are hormones that your wife can take. There certainly are ways to, get the engines revved up again. And if it is a physical thing, that's the first thing I would look into, because it's super important you get this thing resolved, James. So just talk to her about it and say, can you go to the doctor and find out if there's different hormones that you can take to make you feel sexual again. Mr. Pirate Brain, I tried everything, even offered swinging. When she caught me masturbating, she taunted me, and that's when I found another woman gave her 2 years of backed up sex. Then I went home and told my wife. I don't see that that's really, I don't think you had any alternative, Mr. Pirate Brain. I think you really had to, if someone's taunting you because you're masturbating, and you're masturbating because you're not having sex with your wife, what is the point? I mean, and by the way, let's talk about fantasizing. Fantasizing is also fine. What do you guys think about fantasizing? Is that cheating in your mind? If you're not having sex with your wife, what do you think about that aspect? You're doing fine. Let's get back to what you're talking about. Okay, so I got distracted by all these people. Let's see. All right, I'm going to go back to my Instagram here. Ah, oh my God. Okay. My girlfriend's mom is seducing me. What can I do? Can I have a relationship? I'd be like very worried about that aspect unless it was out in the open. The irony is we are friends and talk about it all the time now. No, I mean it. You can be friends with someone, and the problem is that there's two parts to a relationship. There is this the closeness, the intimacy, and um, the connection. With the history, with children and family, and all that other stuff. And then there's the sexual component, and sometimes they're not together. A lot of times they're not together. A lot of people can separate sex and love. I always talk about that. There's sex and then there's love, and it doesn't always go together. Um, Paul, fantasizing is not cheating. Does anybody think fantasizing is cheating? Because I personally think that fantasies are absolutely essential to relationships. Dragon Zone, it's not cheating if everyone fantasizes. Exactly. Um, Thank you, David, for thumbs up. Oh, 1 second, please. I will be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I keep buffering too. Oh my goodness. Okay. Today is not a good day for live streaming, apparently. Yeah, stream health is at red. Red. Yeah, you know what, guys? Unfortunately, the best way to contact me is through Patreon. Patreon.com/Karen Lee. You could talk to me individually about this kind of stuff, and I wouldn't have this issue. Good morning, Riyadh and Islam. And let's see. I like your channel, Sex Talk with My Mom. Oh, thank you. Let me bring that up again. Yeah, I do a podcast. It's hilarious. It's with my son. He's a stand-up comedian, and we talk about everything. Everything that you're not supposed to talk about, we talk about. So, thank you for all those hearts. I guess those are people that also watch Sex Talk with My Mom. It's a video. It's mostly the podcast that we're focusing on, but we do have a YouTube channel where we take little excerpts and put it on. Is the stream health any better? I got a green light now. Now it's better. You have a sonrisa bonita. I don't know what that means, but okay. Let's see. I'm single for 5 years, but when I was in a 5-year relationship, I never fantasized with the moment of being with her, but I did it alone. I think it's normal. Okay, I get what you're saying, Ray. So even if you're during sex and you're fantasizing about something else, so what? So what if you are watching porn with your spouse? So what? So what if you're using vibrators? So what if you're fantasizing? So what about any of these things? Sex is just what you make it. And it doesn't really, there's no rules that you can't do this, or it's not real sex, or, or it's cheating, or it's whatever. That's my opinion. Everything is better now. Good. I'm very smart. Thank you, Vabhav. And I love you too, Islam. Let's see. You can hear me because you switched from Instagram to Instagram. Okay, thanks, David, for letting me know about that one. Let's see. Okay, so where were we? Back to what to do when you have a problem where you want more sex and your partner doesn't, or your partner wants more sex and you don't. Is there anyone here that feels that their partner is pressuring them to have sex? Because sometimes if you push too hard to have sex, the other person feels like it's an obligation and it's not something they want. So, I mean, there were little things that I did in my marriage that made it so that it wasn't obligatory. Like one of the things we did was if one of us wanted sex, it was like just light a candle. See, and that means that one person wants sex. Or if one person wanted sex more than the other, we would just say like, let's make it a date. Like we have like every Sunday night we'd have sex. So that way you knew ahead of time that you're going to have sex for sure at least once a week. And then anything extra is a bonus. How can I know if she's satisfied with what I'm doing? So, James, are you asking, like, do you feel like you're not good enough in bed? Is that what you're saying? I think the only way you could find that out is by asking her and observing. Now, if she's like having orgasms and you can tell because, her cheeks are flushed and her heart rate is racing and she's, sweating and she's, her body's quivering and you could feel like the orgasm coming. Uh, you could, if she's, hopefully she's not faking because anybody that fakes it's an idiot. But I, I really don't believe in faking orgasms. Anyway, where was I? Yeah. So James, the most important thing is to find out from her. Like, just ask her, is there anything I could be doing different that would make you, like, feel sexier? Are you making her feel sexy? Do you talk about, do you make her feel sexy all day, or do you just do it like right at the act of penetration? I mean, sex is not just at the very moment. Sex is like something that goes on all day long. So if you're sending a sexy text to her, or if you're telling her how beautiful she looks or how hot she looks, or not, like if she gets dressed and she says, "How do I look?" and you go, "Fine," that sucks. Okay, so do you not understand? It's like not just like in the act. I'm getting excited, Jay. No, I'm just being honest. I'm telling you how I feel about all this. How do you talk about sex to your son? So if you listen to Sex Talk with my mom, you will hear that we talk about everything. I mean, he talks more. He brought on our show girls that he's had sex with, and the three of us talk about what their sex was like and what happened and how uncomfortable certain things were. And it's to open up the communication. It's super important that everybody talks about sex, everybody talks about drugs, everybody talks about rock and roll, everybody talks about things that, there's no need to hide. There's no need to not communicate. Communication is the most important thing to me. Let's see. Okay. xnxx.com, sexy top and sexy. Okay, I guess you're talking about porn. All right. I can't tell because she turns the other way. Last night she turns her back on me. What about menopause and sex? Okay, let's talk about menopause and sex and long relationships. They're kind of similar. Okay, so what happens is that as women get older, they go through menopause. And menopause is not just like a one day they're getting their period, the next day they're not. It's like a 10-year process. Menopause is like something that is like 1 minute she can be feeling very sexual, and next minute she feels like I don't want to have sex like for the rest of my life. That's why I suggest going to a good doctor and getting on hormones so that you can balance it out. I mean, it's like a trade-off. You want someone who's menstruating, having periods, or you want someone who's done having periods but may have hot flashes. So menopause is a tough one because it's natural, it's part of life, and if you love someone and you want to have sex with them, you want them to be sexual all the time, but it just doesn't work that way for women. And even with men, it's the same kind of thing where men, as they get older, have low testosterone, and then they may have to have like more supplements as far as that goes because maybe they're not feeling as sexual anymore. So there's lots of stuff that goes into sex, and I would say if there's a big problem, go to a doctor. Where to meet women like myself, Jay? Everywhere. Let's see. My wife is going through this, James. So just be patient with her. And if you love her, try to talk as much as you can about, how sexy she is. And try not just talking about sex during sex. Try talking about sex, some other time when you're out to dinner. Take her out to a romantic dinner. Light some candles. Bring out a bottle of wine or champagne or something. Make her feel really sexy. Go buy her a really cool negligee, like a teddy or something. It'll make her feel good. And don't even have sex that night. Try teasing her and just like kissing her. Just try going back to when you first dated. Hi, Master D. She dries out when we have sex. So James, obviously everyone. First of all, let's talk about drying out. Everybody dries out. Okay, porn stars dry out. I've talked to a number of porn stars. They have to use lube a lot because they're doing sex, for hours. So just because someone dries out does not mean there's anything that you're not turned on by that person or that there's anything wrong with the person. Just everybody needs a lube. Just so if she dries out, bring out the lube. A lot of that drying out has to do with menopause too. So God bless it. I hate when people call me granny. I don't even have any grandchildren. Now I gotta hide you. Damn it. Okay. Mr. Beardman, you desire cougars. Like to know. Like to hear that. Okay. Let's see. Where was I? You crashed, Mr. Piratebrain. What happened? You crashed. Okay. My girlfriend likes your talks. Bob Heath. Yeah, you know what? This would be a very good idea for everyone. Bring your girlfriend or boyfriend or partner or lover or lovers to my live stream. Tell them to watch my live streams and participate. I need more women here. It's mostly guys. Matt, there's nothing wrong with lube. It's awesome. Yes, if you guys might want some suggestions for lube, I suggest you go in the description box. The like 2 lines down is a link to Lilo. Lilo is my preferred brand of lube. It's a water-based lube, so you can use toys with it. And I'm going to put the link here. Go there. Use that link. Yeah. It's on my, and for those of you on Instagram, let's see. Yeah, Instagram, you just go to my YouTube page and subscribe there, and you'll see there's a link to Lilo Toys, and that's where, thank you, Trooper. Go to Lilo Toys, and when you go there, type in Karen Lee 15. Here's the code, Karen Lee 15. You'll get 15% off. Always a bargain there. Karen Lee 15. Okay, master. Okay. James, you do use lube. Good. Keep using it so she won't be that, uncomfortable. Try getting her really good lube. By the way, if you want to get your woman something sexual, go to that same link that I just gave you and get one of the small little handheld vibrators. Use that during sex with her. She will love that, It's such a great way to change your sex life, to add a little spark to it. Bring a vibrator in. Get any of those little handheld bullet ones and use it on her while you guys are having sex, and you're going to love that stuff. I mean, change it up a little so it's not so routine. Change the positions, change everything. Do it in a different room. Again, if you bring her something romantic, like even like a rose or something, just something that makes it different, then let's go, watch TV and, oh, guess what? It's 10 o'clock at night, time to have sex. Just make it so that she wants to do it. That's the way I would want it done for me. I want someone to just be like romantic, and it's a little harder for you guys because you guys are like, oh, I see my wife undressing, I'm going to jump on her. But that's not always the way it works for women. My wife works when you are on, so she can't listen to you. James, I put all my videos on YouTube, and a lot of times the little clips are on Instagram, so she can watch it later. And by the way, if you're watching it later, make sure to give a thumbs up. We do use toys, and it feels great when we use her toys. Hey, good news. How are you, Cat Tuber? How are you? Let's see where we are. Hi, Sir Dargani. How do you feel about cuckolding? Cuckolding. Do you guys know what cuckolding is? And I'm glad you're a big fan in Western Australia. Harpsy. Cuckolding is when you have an open marriage, a relationship is open. It's usually the guy. I haven't met any women that do this, but it's usually the guy who watches their woman have sex with someone else. There's all different variations. If you go back and look at some of the videos that I put on before this, you'll see that I talk about cuckolding. And a lot of people are into this. So, hey, whatever floats your boat. Master D, my penis is a little curved. None of the girls are able to bear the pain given my penis. I tried with many girls, but none of them let me complete. What do I do? Master D, just try going in just a little bit then. Do what you can. Use toys. Use strap-on, I guess. I would say that there's lots of stuff that you can do to try. Most important thing I would do is just, use your fingers, whatever. There's a lot of things you can do. Don't worry about it. Even if there's a curve, not all women have a straight shot vagina. A lot of women have different shaped vaginas. So just go in slowly and see what you can do. Get her on different positions. There's a lot of things you could do. Hot short Islam. I don't know what that means. Okay, Paul. I found that women love going to sex shops with their man. They won't go alone, but happy to go with a man. Oh, cool. That's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Okay, I've seen more women in sex shops than men. It surprised me. Yeah, because women are the ones who are purchasing those vibrators. Women love vibrators. Vibrators are very stimulating to the clit. Clit has lots of little nerve endings, way more than the penis. So women like using vibrators, especially when they masturbate. But a lot of times, women like using them during sex. Do you like a strap-on sex? Bob Heath, I have never tried strap-on sex, so I don't know, but I know that porn stars tell me they do it all the time. I've seen more women. Oh, yes. Okay. You are crazy gorgeous. That means that's why it's all dudes here, Trooper. You know what though? I really think women are essential to being on this live stream so I can get more women's perspectives. I do this so I can provide my perspective, but I would love to hear from more women. We usually have a couple, and both of mine are gone. I know I changed my time, so we've lost May for a while, but hopefully she joins us later. How do you approach a cougar, Mr. Beardman? Mr. Beardman, go to my website, KarenLeePotter.com, and download How to Catch a Cougar. That's the best way to learn about how to deal with and find older women. It's called How to Catch a Cougar. It's a download. It's like pretty cheap. It's like $10 or $9.99 or something like that. How to Catch a Cougar. I will pin it right here. Hold on. How to Catch a Cougar. It's a really good, if I must say so myself, it's the best video that I've done. All right, so here it is. I'm pinning it to Instagram. Okay. Thank you. You really enjoyed the live stream today. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. And Hermes, I think that means Italian, and love you too. Okay, Mustafa, and let's see, fantastic, essentially Carlos Savar. Are you a Sagittarius? No, I'm a Libra. My birthday's coming up, you guys. My birthday's coming up on Sunday. And if you want to give me a birthday present, join me on Patreon. The famous saying, size doesn't matter, it's how big it is, how you use it, but is there a preferred size when the size doesn't matter? Harpsy, I'll be right back with that one. Petcock Willie is here. I bring out Petcock Willie anytime somebody brings up peanut size. No, size doesn't matter. And what's the best size? The size that fits your partner. Let's see. I wish more ladies would be on this. Okay. Do you like to be a sub or a dom? Bob have. Yeah, Petcock Willie showed us that. Sub or dom, I like to switch it up. I really don't like it one way or the other. I like everything. Happy birthday. Thank you. Paul was waiting for Petcock Willie to emerge. Let's see. Hi to Andras and Bodyguard and Charolisa and Bodyguard and Bowman and Men 24 and Virgil and Trooper and everybody's laughing. Bodyguard, MHMD, Pre-Tech, okay, Darcy, okay, and Steven. That's about your size, Master D. Okay, glad to see it. Glad to hear it. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. And I'm going to get going now because it's just about that time. I've got to go to yoga. If anybody hasn't seen my cool yoga pants, here they are. You could see more of those on Patreon. So if you haven't joined me on Patreon, please do. It's pretty cheap, and you can talk much more intimately with me on patreon.com/KarenLee. Shiraz, you're both watching. Hi, Shiraz and Shiraz's wife. And James, your wife is not happy with your size. James. Oh, she says my wife says my size is good enough. That's my point. Most women are completely happy with the size of their partner. Thank you, Ariel. You have a sexy waist and hips, Karen. Well, thank you, Mr. Piratebrain. Damn, James. Okay, it's my birthday. I could cry if I want to. No, it's not my birthday today, Master D. My birthday is on Sunday. So if you can give me your birthday wishes all week by joining Patreon. Do you like your boyfriend when they go down on me? What do you think, Bob Heave? What do you think I would answer that one? Islam, thank you. All right, guys, I love you all. It's time to go. Please join me tomorrow. If you haven't already subscribed on YouTube, make sure you do that and put thumbs up, because otherwise you won't know when I'm on. I send out notifications usually a half hour in advance. And again, what am I doing for my birthday? I'm going to be speaking at the Global Seduction Lifestyle Retreat. It's this weekend in LA, and I will hopefully have people videoing it. And if you're in LA and you haven't gone, all the links are in the description box below. If you're going to be in LA, please join me and meet me and come up and say hi. I'll be partying all weekend there, and it'll be fun. And I'll be amongst some really cool professional people talking about everything that you wanted to know about seduction. Bye. I am bad at saying goodbyes.